Hello and welcome to this Aviation Week event hosted on Brella. My name's Ralph and I'm here to show you how to get the most out of this virtual event platform. So let's take a look at how to make those all-important connections, take part in the right conversations, and find the content that you want to watch on the platform. I'm going to head over to my homepage on Brella, and you'll see that I'm using the Engine Leasing, Trading and Finance Europe event as an example, but all of the Aviation Week events will look pretty similar. As you scroll down, you'll see that Brella is making some recommendations about people that I should meet. In this case, it's Remco and BART, and also sponsors that I should take a look at. Now, if you're not seeing something similar to this, it's a pretty good chance that you didn't opt in for matchmaking, and you can change that by clicking on your profile at the bottom and editing your options. But assuming you are seeing some recommendations, let's have a look at Remco. Now, on the left-hand side, you'll see categories that we share in common. Both Remco and I are interested in IT systems and software. And on the right-hand side, Brella is showing us times that work for both of us based on our schedule. So in this case, 8:15 in the morning for me and 9:15 for Remco. So he's probably somewhere in Central Europe. I can suggest that that time is good, and I can click on the button and send a meeting request. I could also personalize this invitation as well if I wanted to. Now, if Remco accepts my request, a little video icon appears, and then at the right time, we can have a one-to-one video conversation. And my first tip is to just send people a message a couple of minutes before saying, looking forward to talking to you in 2 minutes' time, or whatever you want to say. Just helps to convert some of those conversations into real video meetings. And if you go back to the homepage, at the top of Brella's user interface here, you'll see 2 speech bubbles. That's where all of your chat conversations are taking place. And if you're not interested in meeting somebody, just hit decline. Brella sends these lovely polite messages which let people down gently. Now let's take a look at one that I arranged earlier, which is Peter here. And you can see that there was a little bit of backwards and forwards. He's asked for a meeting. I've accepted. He's saying looking forward to it. And then we had a video call at the right time. Or if things change, which they did for Peter, he could send me an update, rearranging the time or saying, unfortunately, I can't meet. It's really simple with Brella. In fact, Brella gives you most of the prompts. So you're just clicking a button. You don't even really need to type very much. Now, looking at the Brella interface, all of the main sections that you need to go to are on the left-hand side. So starting at the bottom, you'll see here, this is where you'll find the sponsors, for example, and the help desk in this case. If you're interested in speakers, you'll find them all on the speakers tab, and you can find out more information, read their bio, and also which sessions they're taking part in. Now, some of you will be taking part in roundtables. That's on the roundtables tab. And at the right time, you'll find a tool here. It's a little bit like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And basically, you can go into the roundtables. Most of the action, though, is happening on the Stream tab. This is where you're going to find all of the live content. And if you want to ask some of the speakers a question, you'll be using the chat on the Stream tab. And also at times you might find polls there as well that you can engage with. The Schedule tab is quite interesting. It shows you what's happening from now onwards. Now, if you want to look at content that's already been recorded, for example, you might be on day 2 of the conference, you want to go back and watch some of the keynotes from day 1, you just need to click on this past content button and everything will be available. And then you can click on the appropriate section and watch the content. And finally, if you head to the People tab, you'll see that Brella is already making some new recommendations for me. So Berkan and Klaus are pretty high up the list in terms of shared interests. Well, that's it for this Aviation Week tour of our virtual event platform. But don't forget, if you've got questions for the team, you'll find us in the sponsor area, or you can ask in the chat box on the stream tab. I hope you make some fantastic new connections, but for now, enjoy the show.